Okay. Good afternoon, class. Last lecture we have started with behavioral modeling using UML. So the basic idea in behavioral modeling, we are going to draw 5 different types of diagrams. So completion of these 5 different types of a diagram, we will completely say that I have done the behavioral modeling. Now, as the name suggests, behavioral means depending on type of, means, or simply we can say this is nothing but a dynamic modeling concept. So what kind of data as an input you are giving, based on type of input, based on the profile of a user, the system actions will be decided. So it is called as what? Behavioral or dynamic modeling. So how many diagrams we are going to discuss here? We are going to discuss the first diagram. Please remember the sequence also. We are going to cover the first use case diagram. Second, we are going to complete the activity diagram. Then third, we will discuss the sequence diagram. Fourth, we will discuss as a collaboration diagram. And fifth, we will complete, or we will able to complete, the state chart diagram. Sometimes it is referred as the state machine diagram or simply state diagram also. So we are going to have these 5 different types of diagrams. So let's see how we are going to process with this behavioral modeling part. We have covered yesterday use case diagram. If any doubt regarding use case diagram, please let me know. We will just quickly revise what the part we said. First, we need to find out the actor, how to represent the actor in UML. Stickman notation is the notation to represent actor in the UML. What is the definition for the actor? What is actor? Actor is nothing but anything which is external to the system. System is what you are going to develop. So example we have taken railway reservation system. So the system which I am going to develop is railway reservation system. Who is external to this system? We will all consider them as an simple actor. So that may be from human being actor. So we will consider them as an user. That may be as an hardware part, or that may be as a part of a software also. So already developed software is also there. So we will consider them as a part of software actors. So simply remember, actor is nothing but anything which is external to the system. So those systems you are going to develop. So who will be interested to interact with the system and external element of the system, we will simply call them as actor. Example we have taken working with this railway reservation system. If you are remembering, we'll continue with the same example so that you will be get more hands-on exposure on the same. So last lecture we have discussed. I'll continue with the same scenario. I'll open the project, same project, Unit 5, behavioral modeling. Okay. So last lecture we have find out these many actors, passenger, then administrator, bank, printer, scanner, and camera and other networking devices. So these actor parts we have done. So actor definition. After actor definitions, we have focused on the next part called as what? Use case. So how to represent the use case in UML? OOMD notation is the notation to represent use case. Now what is the definition for the use case, or the simple idea about the use case? Use case is nothing but simply remember the operation. What operation your system is going to do. For example, in case of my railway reservation system, what operation my railway reservation system is going to perform? It will be able to first perform the login, then check the availability of a train, then register program, then pay the bill. After completion of book the tickets, then check for the availability. These etc. are nothing but the operations. What functionality your system is supposed to provide. In case of calculator, if I say what will be my use cases in case of calculator, what type of calculator it is, what type of operation it supports. So depending on type of operators, depending on type of calculator operations, we will have the number of use cases. So simply remember, what is use case? Use case is nothing but set of sequence of action performed by an external actor, that is user, to yield some results. We will call it as one, a simple use case. So use case is nothing but it represents class of functionality provided by the system. It is just a simple operation. So use cases can be described textually. So this, with reference to these 6 points, we can describe the any specific use cases, and description of these 6 points. So knowing these 6 points will help us a lot to understand that particular use case, because our next activity that today we are going to see is activity diagram. That activity diagram will be discussed simply with respect to this 6 points. So need to understand these 6 points. So what is use case? Use case is nothing but simply we can say it is represented as a oval notation, and it is nothing but simple operations your system is going to perform. So this is one more simple scenario to understand this. Let us see textual use case description, how we can able to provide the description for the example we have seen. So this is railway reservation system. Normal use case diagram we have done. Then we have concentrated on one actor and what operation that particular actor is going to perform, that we have described here in detail inside the include operation or maybe an extended operation and all these parts. Now next part we are going to discuss, that is what, a simple description, or we can say the next diagram. If I say the diagram perspective, the next diagram I am going to perform is an activity diagram. Now simply remember, activity diagram is nothing but what we can say. What is activity diagram? Activity diagram is nothing but simply the flow chart. You must aware about the flow chart, and to understand the flow chart we can take the example of these 6 points. To understand the flow chart, we can discuss this simple 6 points. So let us consider the first example here. The passenger is going to perform the login. Now the simple question is how login will work, or what is the flow for the login. So understanding that flow for the login will help us to understand the 6 points. So let us consider, I'm going to draw an activity diagram for the login. So let's see how to draw that activity diagram so that you can able to understand. So activity diagram is nothing but special case of state chart diagram. So same diagram we can extend over here. So these states are activities, nothing but I am calling as different functions. An activity diagram is useful to show or to describe the workflow in a system. So we'll understand the system flow and how the scenario or how the various actions are going to move from one place to another place. That part we will able to show. So this activity diagram simply help us to understand the flow of various activities from one point to another point. So inside this activity diagram, basically what we are going to discuss, we are going to discuss the flow of an action. So for example, let us consider that passenger is going to perform first login activity. So how my login activity will be carried out? So I just want to discuss, I just want to know the details about this login. So that details about the login can be represented inside an activity diagram. So let us consider this login, right click over here and say an option, add a diagram, select an option called as one activity diagram. I'll repeat the step. Select the particular use case, that is operation, how this login operation will be fulfilled or will be completed, that we are going to represent in one type of a diagram. That diagram is called as what? Activity diagram. So let's see, select that particular use case, right click over there, select an option, add a diagram and select the option activity diagram. So I'm going to draw it for the login. So I will rename it login activity diagram. Double click over there. So every activity always starts with the start state. So select an initial state and ends with end state. So we will have this end state. So remember, this is start state. This symbol is used for the start. This symbol is used for the end. So just for understanding, I will add one text over here. That is start state. This is start. This is end or stop. You can say stop. This is a note link you can use. I'm just using this for understanding. This is just for understanding. You can, it's not compulsory to use the notations. Sorry, names. Notations will be there. So how login activity will start? I was just about to start with an login activity, and I'm saying that it will start with the first part. See, I'm working with this login, and what passenger is going to perform? Passenger is going to perform the login. So what he will do? We just need to visualize the flow, and based on that visualization or based on the simplicity, we can able to draw the diagram. So I will show you how the scenario will work. Just pay attention. So the first action start. Second action, that is user will enter, that is passenger will enter user ID. Then next action, user will enter password, enter password. Okay. After entering the password, user will click on submit button. So that will be a decision part. So I will say submit button. So user will be here. So we'll click on submit button. So this is just a normal flow. We will call this as a basic flow. So user will come, user will enter user ID, will enter the password, and will click on submit button. But the moment user click on the submit button, it will have the possibility to go with the two different options. One of the possible action state will be as login successful, and another possible action will be login failed. And for that we can decide this again, the transition either this side or this side. So moving from this side to this side means after submission of this, means after submission of this user ID and password, there may be a possibility to enter to the next action, that is login successful. The condition we need to understand, that condition is if UID and password correct. That is, if user ID and password match, then and then only user could able to go for the login successful. Or else either user ID or password or both wrong, either UID or password or both wrong, will getting a message directly as a login failed. So after login failed, again the next state they can decide whether they are interested to, you can discuss this in detail, whether they are interested to perform the next action. So next action we can say here, that is want to retry. You can add it. You interested for the retry, just add this text over here. I will connect it. After login failed, want to retry. Just add this symbol. I'm just connecting it. Okay. Okay. Now, depending on that, I have two options over here. So first is again, go to entering the user ID and password. And the second is, if your answer is no, you can directly take a pause. I can say pause. If my answer is no, guard condition, answer is no, one guard condition. Second, if I say answer is yes. Also, this is what your simple activity diagram, the simple way I have shown to you. I will take this diagram outside so that you can able to understand. Login activity diagram, I will save. You can just check it out. Okay. See here, this is what the login activity I have done just now. We can see. This is the simple way to represent the activity diagram. So what we understood by this, we understood that activity diagram is nothing but simply flow chart. And how to understand the flow chart? The only 6 points that we need to take into the consideration. The first point means use case, description, can be done with the 6 point. First is use case name. For example, I can write here use case name. So what is the use case name? I have shared as a login. Second point, basic idea, or we can say simply brief description. So login is first action required for all actors to use system. So whatever the system you are going to develop, that is what railway reservation system. For that, login is the first action. After login only, they can able to perform any further actions, operations inside the system. If their login fails, everything is going to get stopped over there. Then third point is what we can add with respect to this is precondition. Now to perform the login, what will be the precondition? They must have user ID and password. And when they will get user ID and password? When they sign up for course. Means when they will sign up for system. After sign up only they will get user ID and password. That is what we can say include. So register for the course, register for particular system is an important point here. Then post condition. Now post condition, can anyone help me? What is meaning of post condition? Am I audible? Am I audible? Can anyone, what will be the post condition here? Just looking towards the diagram, tell me. What is the post condition? Precondition I said to you, to enter user ID and to enter a password, you must register for the system. So that is called as what? Precondition. Now what is the post condition of this? Can anyone? Everything is there in front of you. Just looking towards diagram, you can tell what is the post condition. Yes, anyone? What is the post condition here? No reply. Yes, anyone? Is it so tough task? Okay. So just looking towards the diagram. Just looking towards the diagram, you can say whether am I audible? Reply something yes, no. Okay. Okay, Omkar. I have asked very simple question. Can anyone tell me? Precondition I said to you. This will be the precondition. You must have a user ID and a password. When you will get user ID and password? When you sign up for the system. My next question is post condition. What will be the post condition here? Just looking towards the diagram. Tell me why I'm doing this, so that you will understand how to draw the diagram. If you complete this, if you are aware about this, then and then only you can able to draw the activity diagram. So I have shown you how to draw the diagram. Now from the diagram we are learning this point, so that the next style you can write only the 6 points. Fifth point will be after the post condition. We can discuss that post condition scenario with respect to the fifth as an exit point. Then we can discuss this fifth point as flow of events, post condition. Then next is flow of events, and sixth point you can add over here as any special requirements. One more point I can add as a extension point or special requirement. Okay, up to 6 points, it's more than sufficient for understanding any scenario. So I'm discussing about the post condition. So what will be the post condition over here? So just looking towards the diagram, we can say that post condition, the two possibilities are there. One as a login successful, one as a login failed. So that will be decided as flow extension post conditions. So maybe the possibility of a first login successful and second as login failed. And second you can say as login failed as a part of a possibility. So how your flow of events covers? Flow of event covers simply in the two styles. The two patterns will be there. One as a basic flow, that is called as what? Common path or common flow, and another style as alternative flow. So another part it will consider as an part of alternative flow. So with respect to these two scenarios, as a part of a basic flow and alternative flow, you can consider. Now what is my basic flow here? So basic flow is very simple here. You can say enter user ID, enter password, and click on submit button. That covers my basic flow. So what is my basic flow? In case of my example, I'll just add here So I'll say that enter user ID as a first part, then enter password, and then I say click on submit button. Entering and clicking on this will help us a lot to understand the scenario. So after this, I will just click on the submit button. So any user, that may be, see who else is user of our system. If you look towards this diagram, you can understood. So these are many users, these are many actors, maybe passenger or maybe administrator. They anyhow they have to first perform the action to use the system, that is called as one login. So that will be a important part for all the users, that they need to able to perform the login. After login only they can able to use the system. If login fails, they cannot able to access the system. Is this clear? Okay. So just looking towards the diagram, any user, what will be the scenario to perform the login? So they need to enter the user ID, they need to enter the password, and they need to click the submit button. So this will happen in a common style. It is called as what? Basic flow. This is nothing but simply we can say all happy path. Okay. So after this common flow, next part comes, that is what? Alternative flow. Now looking towards the alternative flow, alternative means choice here. How many choice I'm getting here? I'm getting here 2 choice. You can add 3 choice also, because I have covered the both choice here. If your user ID wrong, what happens? If your password wrong, what happens? Or what if your both the things are wrong? That will also you can add. The choice is your. But alternative choice, I'm saying that here, I'm saying just here minimum 2 alternative choice I'm getting here. So one of the alternative flow, that may be, I can add over here as login successful as one of the alternative flow, or we can say second as a part of login failed. So I will add it inside login field. So this covers my flow of events. That is called as what? Simply FOE. And special requirements, any point you can consider here as an additional requirements, like password must be 7 characters. Having combinations you can say. Second part you can get minimum 3 or max, not minimum, max 3 attempts daily. Like this. So that will be an additional requirements for consideration of the system or the flow scenarios. Is this clear? So with respect to this 7 point, you can describe any use case. So what I said to you, how to describe the use case means how you can write the description for the use case. After writing the use case description, you can able to draw, means first write down the description for any use case. Use case means, what is use case? You simply remember use case is nothing but operation, which is nothing but functionality. Whatever the system you are running, that system have some set of functionalities. So each functionality will be considered as one use case. So understand it as a use case. So that is what operation, nothing but the functionality. So understand the use case. How to represent the use case? Simple oval notation is the notation to represent the use case. So for each use case, discuss these 6 points And with respect to these 6 points, after writing, if you are aware about the 6 points, you can complete activity diagram. So after completion, after writing above 6 points, you can complete activity diagram for use case. That will be very specific. To understand this, I have shown you in the reverse style. Now you can complete it from your scenarios. So understand these 6 points, and once you are clear with these 6 points, you can very easily you can draw an activity diagram. So I have shown you the activity diagram for the login. Now let us see one more type activity diagram, just as mentioned there, for purchase ticket. So see here, I'll show you. Let us consider one more use case for the simplicity. So I'll add a diagram, use case diagram. I'll give purchase ticket, use case diagram. Okay. So purchase ticket, one use case we need. Actor, I will consider simply the passenger. So select an actor passenger, drag and drop. And passenger is going to perform, passenger is going to perform an purchase ticket. This is now we need to concentrate on this activity called as what? Purchase ticket. So how the purchase ticket will happen? So we will show it in one diagram. So select this particular use case, purchase ticket, right click, add a diagram, and select an option, activity diagram. Rename it purchase ticket activity diagram. Okay. So as usual, it will be starting with the start state. Select start state. Okay. Select. Okay. Now description they have given to us. For example, so entry condition, passenger stands in front of the ticket distributor. Passenger has the sufficient money to purchase the ticket. That will be offline scenario. But what happens if we go with an online scenario? The entry condition will be passenger must log in successful. Then and then only could able to perform the scenario. So I will add over here the precondition as mentioned that they must be able to perform the login successful. Then and then only they will able to work. Otherwise not. So see here, I'll show you. Start the state. Okay. The next action after here the precondition is login successful. The next action will be search for train. Okay. Now search for train. Here some actions will be performed in the parallel style. So I'm going to use here the synchronization option. So in previous lecture we have discussed this. So I'll not waste much of time. Next action will be check for the date. Check for the date and time. That will consider here. Search for the change means they will be searching for train, they will be searching for the date, time, and they will check for the passenger. So confirm passenger. Once they confirm the passenger, they will look for one more option over here. That option will be I will add here that option here. The simply that option will be select type of ticket, whether you want sleeper coach, whether you want one tire, two tire, three tire, like this, or general. Select this. After this only the ticket parts will be get confirmed. So I will add confirm the ticket. Next action, confirm ticket. If confirm ticket done, then pay amount or go for the transactions payment option. After payment, confirm ticket, I will say book ticket rather to avoid the ambiguity. After the book ticket and payment done successfully, confirm ticket. After confirm ticket, the next action will be print ticket. You can say print ticket, and we can able to stop over here. So this is what the simply all happy path I have shown you. I'll show you the transactions. So similarly, you can go ahead. Okay. If four thing matches, again you can able to show inside the scenario. See here, you can just show it as a one part of the book ticket. Might be showing one error. I'll correct it. Okay. So just show this. Then from this to this, after the payment, the ticket part will be confirmed. And after confirming the ticket, you can take the print of the tickets and you can stop over there. So that the scenario will be done as the activity diagram for consideration of your purchase ticket. Okay. So suppose the train is not available, then what happens? We need to go with one more scenario over here. So I'll consider that scenario simply as the first part of a swimlane option. Okay. So show it in the straightforward style. Okay, done this part. Just a second. Okay, so I am taking this outside. You can take this outside, export diagram, purchase ticket activity diagram, save it. Save this. Okay, I have saved it. Okay, so in this way you can complete the activity diagram. See, now looking towards this, we can understand these 6 points. So basic idea, what is expected over here is you concentrate on one use case. For that use case, you draw these 6 points, means you study that 6 points. If you are aware about these 6 points, very easily you can draw an activity diagram. That is what the simple scenario to complete the activity diagram. Is this clear? Yes. Roll number 26. What you are doing? Why you are sending the number? I'll take attendance, don't worry. Just pay attention on the class right now. Okay. So I'm just about to complete this, the second scenario with reference to an activity diagram. So any doubt regarding the activity diagram? Yes, any query? Any question? So you need to remember these 6 points. Once you are much aware about these 6 points, you just, so these 6 points are nothing but what? Simple flow chart. So for any use case, so for any activity, you are just considering only the 6 points. And once you are much aware about these 6 points, so this is what the basic idea about the activity diagram. So take the simple screenshot of this activity diagram. This is just an example. You try to draw this. So select the site, commission architect, develop the plan, build the plan, do the site work, do the trade work, and finish construction. This is just a simple activity diagram regarding the transactions and the scenario you can able to have. So I'm just giving one task to you. Okay. Okay. So looking towards the diagram that we have completed, this is as a railway reservation system. Okay. So consider administrative, and with respect to administrator, consider the cancel ticket option and draw an activity diagram for cancel ticket. Okay. So the task I am giving to you is draw an activity diagram for cancel ticket. considering the case scenario for which case study, for which system we are considering this? Railway reservation system. So consider this and consider an use case, cancel ticket. So draw an activity diagram for cancel ticket. So give the attendance for the today's class. Number 1, roll number 1.
Present.
2, 3,
Present, sir.
4, 5,
Roll number 2.
6,
Present.
7,
7 present, sir.
8,
8 present.
9,
9 present, sir.
10, 11,
11 present, sir.
12, 13,
13 present, sir.
14, 15,
Present, sir.
16,
Present, sir.
17, 18,
Present, sir. 18.
19,
Present, sir.
20,
Present, sir.
21,
Present, sir.
22,
Present, sir.
23,
Present, sir.
24,
Yes, sir.
25, 26,
26 present, sir.
27,
27 present, sir.
28,
Present, sir. 28.
29,
Yes, sir.
30,
30 present, sir.
31, 32,
32 present, sir.
33,
Yes, sir.
34, 35,
35 present, sir.
36,
36 present, sir.
37,
37 present, sir.
38,
38 present, sir.
39,
39 present, sir.
40,
40 present, sir.
41,
41 present, sir.
42,
41
42
present,
present, sir.
43,
43 present, sir.
44,
Present, sir. 44.
45, 46,
46 present, sir.
47,
Present, sir. 47.
48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54,
Present, sir.
55, 56, 57, 58, 58, Prashant. 59,
Present, sir.
Mukund. Okay. 60, Prashant. 60, Absent. 61. Naveen. 62. Kiran. 63. Abhishek. 64.
Present, sir.
Vivek. Vivek.
Present, sir.
65.
Present.
Omkar. Okay. 66. Vishwajit. 67.
Present, sir.
Ganesh. 68. Gaurav.
Present.
69.
Present, sir. Yes, sir.
Saurabh. Saurabh. Okay. Pratik. 70.
Present, sir.
68 present, sir.
Sir, roll
Sir,
number
roll
4
number 5.
present.
Sir, roll
Roll
number
number
2.
5. Rutuja. Roll number 5 present. Okay. Next.
Roll number
Sir,
2,
roll
sir.
number 4.
4. Roll number 4. Madhura. Okay. Hmm.
Roll number 2.
Shivani. Okay. Any other number? Yes. Okay. So what is activity for just small homework I'm giving to you? That is, you need to draw an activity diagram for a use case considered as a cancel ticket. So consider cancel ticket as one use case with reference to railway reservation system and try to draw an activity diagram for cancel ticket. So what I said to you, consider that particular use case. With respect to that use case, note down these 6 points. And after writing this 6 point, just looking towards the diagram, just looking towards this description, you can able to draw an activity diagram. That is what the very simple task I am assigning to you. So we'll take a pause here. Tomorrow we will see the interaction diagram. So next lecture we are probably able to complete the 2 diagrams so that we can able to complete the chapter. Is this clear? Any doubt for today's session? No reply. Only during attendance you guys gives the reply. Rest of the time? Okay. Only Omkar replies. Okay. So the task, all of you got today's task. Start to work. We'll catch you tomorrow.